Okay. Um, Hi, everyone. Welcome back to this live stream for Windows Server 2000. So I just want to share my screen here. Okay, Chapter 21, Disaster Recovery and Business Continuity Planning. In any IT infrastructure, whether built on legacy systems like Windows 2000 or modern technologies, the ability to quickly recover from disruptions is critical to maintaining business operations and protecting valuable data. Unforeseen events ranging from natural disasters, cyber attacks, and hardware failures to human error can cause downtime and severely impact a business. This is where disaster recovery, DR, and business continuity planning come into play. Disaster recovery is the process of restoring IT systems and applications and data following a catastrophic event. Business continuity planning, on the other hand, is a broader framework that ensures that critical business functions can continue even during disruptive events. Together, these strategies ensure that your organization can survive, recover, and thrive in the face of adversity. For a business still relying on legacy systems such as Windows Server 2000, disaster recovery and business continuity may prevent unique challenges. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of DR and BCP along with best practice for building resilient IT systems and strategies for both modern and legacy environments. 21.1, the importance of disaster recovery. Disasters can strike in many forms: cyber attacks such as ransomware or data breaches, hardware failures, software glitches, natural disasters, earthquake floods, or even simple human errors. Without a solid disaster recovery plan, your organization could face prolonged downtime, lost revenue, and potentially irreversible damage to your reputation. Key considerations for data recovery: data loss. One of the most significant risks in the event of a disaster is data loss. Losing customer records, intellectual property, or financial data can be disastrous. A disaster recovery plan must include regular data backups and strategies for restoring lost data as quickly as possible. Downtime. The longer your systems are down, the greater the impact on your business. This could lead to lost productivity, missed opportunities, and financial losses. Minimizing downtime through automated recovery and failover systems is key to reducing disruption. System availability. Critical applications and systems must be available to ensure the business can continue to operate. Implement strategies such as clustering, failover, and redundancy ensures that if one system fails, another takes over seamlessly. Regulatory compliance for businesses in regulated industries. Having an effective disaster recovery plan is not optional, it's a requirement. Failure to comply with regulatory mandates for data protection such as GDPR or HIPAA can lead to significant legal penalties. 21.2, Business Continuity Planning, BCP. While disaster recovery focuses on restoring IT systems and data, business continuity planning addresses the broader goal of keeping critical business functions operational during and after a disruption. BCP involves planning for various disaster scenarios, assessing the impacts on the business, and developing strategies to continue operations. Key elements of business continuity: one, critical business functions. Identify which business operations are essential and must continue during a disaster. These may include customer support, payroll processing, inventory management, and core business applications. Prioritize the recovery of these functions. Risk assessment and business impact analysis, BIA. A thorough risk assessment and BIA will help your organization understand potential threats and their impact on business operations. By assessing the likelihood of various events and the potential financial and operational consequences, you can develop more targeted and effective recovery strategies. Employee and stakeholder communication. A crucial part of BCP is ensuring that employees, customers, and other stakeholders are kept informed during a crisis. Establish a clear line of communication and create protocols for providing updates to stakeholders. Supply chain and vendor management. For many business, disruptions to the supply chain or the inability of vendors to deliver products and services can cause significant damage. It is important to have contingency plans in place for working with alternative suppliers or vendors during times of crisis. 21.3 Building a disaster recovery plan. Developing an effective disaster recovery plan is essential for safeguarding your IT infrastructure. The goal is to ensure minimal data loss, reduced downtime, and rapid restoration of critical systems. Here are the steps to build a robust disaster recovery plan. 1. Define recovery objectives. Recovery time objective, RTO. This is the time within which a system or service must be restored after a disruption to avoid unacceptable consequences. Recovery point objective, RPO. This refers to the maximum acceptable amount of data loss measured in time. For instance, an RPO for 4 hours means that no more than 4 hours worth of data should be lost in the event of a disaster. Perform risk assessment and BIA. Assess the likelihood of various disaster scenarios: hardware failure, cyber attack, natural disaster, and their potential impact on your IT systems and business operations. Prioritize systems and applications based on their criticality to business operations. Those are the most vital these that are most vital should be the focus of your disaster recovery efforts. 3. Develop backup and data recovery strategies. Backup. Implement regular and automated backups to protect against data loss. This includes full, incremental, and differential backups with clear guidelines for how often they should be performed. Off-site cloud backups. Store backups in geographically diverse locations, preferably in the cloud. Protect against local disasters such as fires or floods. Data recovery. Ensure that you have defined procedures for data restoration, including the tools and methods needed to quickly restore your data in the event of a disaster. 4. Implement redundancy and failover systems. Hardware redundancy. Implement redundant systems such as additional servers, power supplies, and network equipment to ensure that if one component fails, another one can take over. Virtualization. Virtualized environments can provide quick recovery options, as virtual machines (VMs) can be backed up, replicated, and restored much faster than traditional physical hardware. Failover clustering. For critical applications such as database servers or email systems, use failover clustering, which allows one server to take over if the primary server fails. 5. Test your disaster recovery plan. Regularly test your disaster recovery plan through simulations or real-world exercises to ensure it works as expected. This helps identify any gaps in the plan and ensure that team members are familiar with their roles during an actual disaster. Consider performing tabletop exercises, a discussion-based simulation of a disaster, and full recovery drills to test the plan's effectiveness. Document and communicate the plan. Document all aspects of your disaster recovery plan, including roles and responsibilities of team members, contact information for key personnel and vendors, and step-by-step procedures for system restoration. Make sure the plan is accessible to those who need it, and that it's regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in your IT environment. 24.1 Business continuity key strategies. Business continuity extends beyond recovery of IT systems and data. It ensures that the core functions of the business can continue during a disaster. Below are several key strategies for developing a robust business continuity plan. 1. Create an emergency response team. Establish a team responsible for managing the business continuity plan during a disaster. This team should include representatives from IT, operations, communication, legal, and other key departments. Define clear roles for each team member, such as incident coordinator, communication manager, and recovery lead. 2. Establish communication protocols. Develop a communication plan for informing employees, customers, and stakeholders during a disaster. Ensure that you have multiple channels of communication, such as email, phone, and social media in case one method fails. Consider setting up an emergency hotline or a website for employees to check for updates on status of business operations. 3. Implement remote work solutions. Provide employees with the tools they need to work remotely in case of disruptions to office locations. This may involve using cloud-based applications, remote desktop solutions, and collaborations tools such as Microsoft Teams and Slack. Ensure that employees have secure access to business-critical systems and data from home or other remote locations. 4. Plan for supply chain continuity. Assess the risks to your supply chain and develop contingency plans for key suppliers and vendors. This could include having alternative suppliers in place of creating stockpiles of essential materials. Establish relationships with backup vendors that can help when primary vendors are unavailable. 21.5. Leveraging cloud services for DR and BCP. In modern IT environments, cloud services play an increasingly important role in both disaster recovery and business continuity. Cloud computing offers several advantages over traditional on-premise solutions, including faster recovery times, lower costs, and greater scalability. Backup and restore. Cloud store solutions such as AWS, S3, Microsoft Azure Blob Storage, Google Cloud Storage allow business to back up data securely and restore it quickly after a disaster. Disaster recovery as a service. DRaaS providers offer cloud-based disaster recovery solutions that enable businesses to replicate their IT infrastructure in the cloud in the event of an outage. Organizations can quickly fail over to the cloud infrastructure and continue operations. Scalability and flexibility. Cloud solutions provides on-demand scalability, allowing business to scale their disaster recovery resources based on the need to avoid the capital expense of maintaining redundant on-premise infrastructure. So, conclusion, disaster recovery and business continuity are essential to the long-term success and resilience of any organization, whether running on legacy systems or cutting-edge infrastructure. By developing a comprehensive disaster recovery plan and a broader business continuity strategy, business can minimize downtime, protect critical data, and ensure that core functions continue even during time of crisis. For organizations still relying on Windows Server 2000, it is especially important to consider modern disaster recovery tools and cloud solutions that can complement or eventually replace outdated systems. By doing so, organizations may be better prepared to navigate disruptions and ensure operation resilience for years to come. So in the next chapter, I'll go through the future of IT infrastructure. So I'm going to leave it here today's video. Thanks for spending the time with me and have a good week.